Joined today by Zach Sweeney again.
Hello everyone, so yeah, I'm Zach. How you been, Jamie?
Good. Much better than before. Not ill anymore, so that's good.
Definitely is.
It's going to be a good race, I presume, in Austria because you've got 3 DRS zones on the main straight, second straight and third straight, so plenty of opportunities to overtake. So it should be a good race for tonight.
Definitely so. I commented last week and we saw the championship deciding race at China where we saw Chappelele win the race and the championship. So he is completely wrapped up coming into the final round. And we are at the Red Bull Ring. So as you said, Jimmy, it's a very tough circuit and it does take a lot of patience to win. It takes a lot of patience to harvest the energy recovery system to get it done. It takes a lot of just patience waiting for the right time to make the move. So I'm sure very good race tonight.
Somebody keeps leaving and rejoin the session, don't know who it is. Or was it you going into comment spectator?
I think it was me, yeah.
Should be going in a few seconds time. It is 1 past 7. I think we're waiting for one more driver, then we should be off for the penultimate round of the season, and let's see if it turns out to be a good race. It should do because Austria provides good racing but also DRS trains around here, so might see a bit of that.
We'll definitely see a lot of it, I'm sure, especially for the leads, because even if you're a lot quicker on pace, as long as they can just sort of stay within that 1 second range, you're usually 90% of the time going to be able to close that gap up back on the straight. So I'm not too convinced we'll see a dominant win, and I'm sure it'll be decided potentially in the last couple of laps. Of course, it is dynamic weather, so we may see rain play a massive factor tonight, which definitely could. The Styrian Mountains have had rain before, back in the early stages of 2020 for the Styrian Grand Prix and qualifying. It had to be rained off for a while, especially the Formula 3 and Formula 2 races. So it does play a factor. It definitely can play a factor here in Austria. So yeah, we're just going to have to wait and see how it pans out. But if it's a dry race, I'm sure we're going to see a massive DRS train.
Well, we should be going off into the session soon. And have you seen the new Williams launch today?
I did. I personally, I don't know. I'm quite on the fence about it, to be completely honest. I like it, but it's definitely been better. I did like the 2020 Williams, the second one they released. The rocket sponsorship got cancelled, but I like it. I've seen a lot of negative opinions about it, but I wouldn't say it's too bad.
It doesn't look. I like the front of the car. I like the blue around it. I don't know what I don't like about it. It's just, I don't know, I think they could have done a little bit better with the livery of Williams, but these cars look different this year, don't they? Especially Alpine and we've got the new formerly Aston Martin with their green livery and pink on the front wing. Shade of pink on the front wing.
Yeah, the Aston Martin definitely does strike the eye. The British Racing Green returning to the grid once again, which is always lovely to see, as a very democratic, or I think that's the word, a patriotic Brit. We do love to see the British Racing Green back. So nice to see that, and obviously represented by Sebastian Vettel and Lance Stroll, which are two very competent drivers, and hopefully they can deliver a strong result. And of course, on technical analysis note, there have been a lot of changes specifically to sort of the front wings of everyone. Everyone seemed to be adopting that the sort of the sloped front wing of that Mercedes have been adopting. They seem to have all sort of taken that concept and grasped it, especially sort of McLaren with having to adapt. But nonetheless, we are back into quali, which is looking very overcast as it stands. So maybe rain could play a factor tonight, Jamie.
Indeed, look at the weather conditions, very cloudy indeed, but it could change later in the session, it always does. And talk about Williams, last time they took pole was here in 2014. Both Williams on the front row ahead of Nico Rosberg in third place. It was Massa who took pole position ahead of Valtteri Bottas. I think Bottas ended up finishing ahead of Massa, and it was a Mercedes 1-2 as usual. And they're all coming out of the pits, and there's quite a lot of people coming out of the pits initially in this part of qualified. I think they'll get 3 runs in because that's usually the typical way to go in Austria, 3 runs on the soft compound tyre. Be interesting to see because there's loads of people in the first sector. Sorry, Zach.
No. You don't normally see, especially in F1 League racing. So could these guys be wanting to get out quickly to set a lap in before the rain comes in, or is it just get out and have a bit of slipstream, Jamie?
Well, half and half. Well, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 people are still in the pits, and the rest of the 13 are out. So you could be right, Zach, but if it was going to rain initially, I think they'll be all out there. But we've still got some more people coming out of the pits because they wanted some space, and there's like 2, 3 people left in the garage. We've got a Racing Point coming out along with an AlphaTauri and a McLaren. We've got 4 people coming out at the same time, and I think we've only got about 1, 2, 3 people left in the pits. On board because this was the British driver on his first flying lap then, so we've got a Renault ahead of us, but Zach, do you want to take us through the lap?
Coming through into turn 1, then uphill braking zone, braking just after the 100 board. Use all the curb on the inside through turn 1 and try and ride out to the exit there. DRS wide open, of course, the drag reduction system. Open in the rear wing, flaps give him that extra 20 kph. Into turn 2, braking just after the 100 board, just before. Use the uphill camber to rotate the car. First gear, third gear to get the traction. DRS open once again on this long run down into turn 3. Technically turn 4, but nonetheless into turn 3, braking again just after the 100 board. Use third gear, second gear to get the rotation, and then back up to third, fourth, fifth through this little bit of a kink before we hit the 2 infield sections of turn 5 and 6. Really got to use all the track, really got to be committed, especially in the second part. Purple to the middle sector, got to use that curb on the inside through turn 7, on the run through the penultimate corner. Then this has to be balls to the wall, flat out, use all of that curb on the exit. He's invalidated his lap through there, unfortunately, so that's going to be the less ideal. Very wide through the final corner as well, as Quicksilver does go pole position. 103 is dead for a bank lap, very much not too shabby, and the battle for second is very much still on between himself and Ginger. 5 points is the gap, and Quicksilver could definitely claim P2 as everyone is filing their laps in. Looks like low 103s is the bench, Jamie.
Yep. Giroud has gone P3. We've got 3 people on a 103.0. Quicksilver quickest out of Luke and Giroud. There's a Dutch 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 now. Symbolics has got up into 6th place. And Vapor's got up to first place with a 102.8. So the first man in the 2s is Vapor Cross. 2 tenths clear of Quicksilver. Kizizo has invalidated, like you said. Can Racer, I'm on board with him as he's coming towards the penultimate corner. And very easy to invalidate, especially on this last corner too, which he doesn't do. And let's see where Can Racer can go. This will be a 103.3, and he goes up into 10th place at the Symbolics, pushes him outside the top 10. Mats is into turn 2. Oh, he loses the rear end on exit. Where's Finley? Chapelele has invalidated it. Finley is coming towards turn 4. Locks up slightly, but gets a decent exit as well. So Chapelele then invalidated his lap time. You said he was the season champion, didn't you?
Yeah, Chapelele wrapped up the championship last week in China, took the win and the championship along with him, and he looks as though to be struggling in these earlier stages. Looking to end the season with a banger, as everyone does, I'm sure, but into the pit lane for a fresh set after invalidated first round. Very quick into the pit lane, it must be said, but some very quick pace so far from everyone in the session, and also some very close times, as is the short time of the circuit. You do often see a lot of closer times, and that is very much evident. The top 10 separated by merely 4 tenths, and only about half a tenth back to 11th and 12th. So these guys are looking very racy, and you know, it could literally just be turning that little bit earlier, braking that little bit later, or getting on the power that little bit earlier, and it makes all the difference, especially
oh no!
Austria.
On board with Bird, he does a 3.1, but that's invalidated. He validates it at the exit of the last corner on the curb, so that's really lucky for him. It was a 3.1, it'll put him into 7th place, well, in 5th and 7th position, because there's 3 drivers on the 3.1, so he would have been in the top 7, but that's really unfortunate for Bird. It's very easy to do that running wide at the last corner.
Yeah, definitely. A 1.28 I think I saw on the timing, so that would have put him P6 just behind Jer there, but yeah, it is a shame. It's very easy to do, and it looks as though it's invalidated his next lap as well, so we can't even go for a second run, which is just a massive shame. But definitely looking close, and definitely got a lot of time to get another run in, Jamie.
So one of the 4 drivers who have set lap time on board with one of them, which is the McLaren of Ratica, he's on a lap now as he enters turn 1. Now climbing up the hill towards, this is turn 2 I believe they call it. And down here is turn 3, braking at the 100 meter board, going to first gear, but he doesn't do that, he just stays in third. Nice exit from him, very easy to lose the car traction there. As now we enter to turn 4, braking at the 100 meter board, downhill braking, late apex through here, which he doesn't take the apex at all. On the throttle we go, then head towards turn 6. Is this turn 6 or turn 7?
This is the Jochen curve, I'm pretty sure. I'd say this is turn 7, which leads into 8 and 9.
Only 9 corners here.
Only 9, I think officially 10. I'm not too sure. It's very tricky with Austria. Some corners are sometimes counted, some corners aren't. But across the line,
P1.
It is pole. It's a 2.8. Very good lap nonetheless from Ratak. It doesn't matter what corner he was going through. It was probably very fast. And a 102.827. Only 0.06 of a second clear of Vapor, who's on an outlap looking to reclaim that provisional pole position. But the McLaren with some very good pace in these early stages.
I was on board with Kizizo on his second lap, and unfortunately he's validated that one, so not really having a good run so far is Kizizo. And on board with Quicksilver as he enters the penultimate corner, using a lot of care with the edge, very committed through there, and now coming to the final corner, using a bit of care with the exit as he sets a 102.7, he goes quickest.
Rapid lap time from Quicksilver then. A 102.7 does go provisional pole. And this is important for his fight against Ginger. Ginger in second place in the championship, but he had a tough race in China. He's having a tough qualifying session so far in Austria. 5 points is the gap.
We had a spinner at the exit of the last corner, and Terror Racer validated at the exit of the last corner. Nothing to do with the Renault getting in the way. He was further down the track, but it was a typical invalidated. And Ginger, you said he validated, which he has. Yeah. Ginger, he's gone off the track.
Very, very wide from Ginger. So yeah, it looks like the pressure's getting to him. He's second place in the championship. He couldn't quite take it to Chapelele, and he's got a very quick Quicksilver all over the back of him, and he needs a good race, because as it stands, he's out of the points in the qualifying session. He needs a really good race. 36 laps of the Austria track in the race, of course. Oh, and that's a big spin through turn 5 for Ginger. It looks like these rears are not going to be liking him too much. He is out of the top 10, so he could start on fresh tyres if need be, but yeah, looks like he's been struggling these last couple of weeks, and Quicksilver is going to be taking all of that confidence through into the race.
Vapor across the line to go second place. He improved on a 2.8, he's up to 2.7 now. He's 1/10 of the Ratica. McLaren's up there, third and fourth, did a good job. On board with the Ferrari man of Cheers. Look at that, if you look at the full map, there's like 3 cars together. They're the penultimate corner. As Cheers, few hundreds down in that middle sector, can he find more time? Oh no, he just used a lot of curve, which he should have done. Yeah, exactly. Both Ferraris are coming in at the same time, aren't they? That's the McLaren. Is that McLaren? Yeah, it is. Yeah.
That is a McLaren, yeah. No relation other than the fact that the swap drivers, Carlos Sainz, of course, going to Ferrari for 2021.
On board with Patrick as he enters the first Saturday. 1/10 up already on his personal best as he enters turn 3. Oh, almost lost the car there. I find that corner very difficult. Do you find it difficult, Zach?
The exit of turn 2/turn 3 is very tricky. It's uphill, of course. You're on the power. There's undulation change. The rear end is never going to like it. And of course, the slow nature of the corner just adds to it. It's very difficult, and I wouldn't be surprised if we see a couple of people facing the wrong way through there.
Patrick
was invalidated through turn 5. That's very, very easy to do. And he was purple to the first sector, so it was looking to be a pretty good lap, but just couldn't hook it up. And that's for Taka. That was very, very close to contact there between the AlphaTauri and the McLaren, but it looks like he's into the pit lane for a fresh set. And 7 minutes to go, and Quicksilver still on that provisional pole, Jamie.
Yeah, doing a very good job. Both of them on a 2.7, Vapor and Quicksilver. James, Sahilu, down in 13th place, got 1/10 quicker in the middle sector compared to his best. So can he get himself inside that top 10? Can he find more time in that last sector? He got a car ahead of him. That's his Racing Point teammate who gets out of the way. And now he heads towards the last corner then. Takes it nice and tidy as James will come across the line and he goes up into P5. Get a bit of time in that last sector.
Very, very good time then to put him up into the top 5. It is looking still very, very close at the front. Position separated near hundredths of a second, and that is the case with FRL. With my time with the league, that he is always extremely, extremely close between everyone, and just that little bit extra can define the good from the great. And at the racing point, put on a good, impressive showing, and up into P5.
On board with Ratike, he's gone a little bit quicker in the middle sector compared to his best, but he needs to find more time if he wants to find himself on provisional pole. Very nice to the last 2 corners. That might gain a bit of time as he crosses the line now. It's P1. Getting a bit of time in that last sector. Very good.
Great run from the McLaren and great showings in general. 1 in 6 in a very, very tight field. That's going to help him in the Constructors, which I'll check up on and get back to you in a moment with the situation in the Constructors. I do believe Alfa Romeo lead the way clear of Williams. And the Williams boys in is that P4 and P10, if I'm correct? Or just P4? Is there only one Williams on the grid tonight? Because though Chapelele's retired, so he's going to go for a last to first challenge.
Yeah, he's got nothing to lose, has he?
Got nothing to lose, might as well have a bit of fun with it, and fair play to him. We'll have to see how he comes to the field, and hopefully he gives us a nice spectacle of racing. And that's Terra Racer up into P4 in the AlphaTauri. Great showing from him. We've seen him have some astonishing pace and just sort of been there. He's not been the star of the grid per se when it comes to qualifying on the race, but he's always been there. He's always put the pressure on. And I mean,
Ginger P3.
Yeah, Ginger into P3, so it looks like he's finally managed to put a good lap together. But as you can see,
no, Jochum's gone off the track, and that's his lap time ruined. I've talked about Quicksilver Jochum.
Yeah, you're confusing me here, but nonetheless, as you can see, Jamie, from 5th up to Vapor, who's now taken provisional pole, a 102.5, and P5's on a 102.7, so it's only 2 and a bit tenths covering the top 5, and only a couple of tenths back to 6th. 7th is only a bit behind that. 8th is only a bit behind that. You know, it's very extremely close here at here at Austria, and I wouldn't be surprised if someone, you know, pulls out the bag in these later stages.
Kizizo, let's see what he could do. He hasn't set a lap time yet, but this lap time will be put P1. Wow.
This is astonishing stuff. We're seeing everyone go pole position, left, right, and centre. Purple lap, then I believe purple to every sector. But a 102.5, literally 1/100th of a second quicker than Vapor. That is a fraction of a blink of an eye between the two. And this is incredible stuff. Nearly identical lap times from these guys. And we've still got 4 minutes 20 of the session left to go. So, I mean, I wouldn't be surprised if we see Kyle go on pole position at this point. Currently 1.1 seconds off, but the amount of surprises we've seen tonight, Jamie, I wouldn't be surprised if we see anyone outside the top 10 on pole position. It could be anyone. All it takes is just hooking that lap up, nailing that apex, getting on that power just a little bit earlier. But it looks as though everyone's opting as well for the soft cotton pan tyre, which I didn't allude to. So it looks like everyone's going for that soft to medium, soft to hard strategy in the race, Jamie.
Yeah, exactly. This is where the nerves will start kicking into the final parts of qualifying. This is the most crucial part. We've got 3 minutes left as we're on board with FRL Finley. He's about to start his flying lap. Currently sat down in P13 as he takes his way towards Tier 1. Use the curb. Oh no, he took too much curb through there and he has invalidated it. But he'll have enough fuel in the car so he can go for another run. So he just needs to amend his turn 1 and see what he can do for his next lap, and hopefully he don't invalidate. He's currently down to P13. On board with the Dutchman of Luke. I was practicing with Luke earlier on before this race. Heads down into turn 1, let's see how it takes it. Not a lot of the curb, he loses the rear end but managed to catch the car. So that'll lose him a bit of time. What will he do? He backs out of it. He knows it's not a good lap so far, so he will have to go for it again. We'll have enough fuel in the car to go for another lap. Who else is out there? We've got Geordie out there on his out lap. We've got Kyle out there. Got on board with Kyle first. He's on the medium compound tyres, Zach, interestingly.
Looking for that alternate strategy, so Kyle looking to go for the mediums. They're going to be a lot harder, a lot slower. Obviously the deficit's going to be a lot lower here than, say, at Singapore, because there's less corners for them to lose that time. And it is mainly straights, but it'd be interesting to see what he can do. Currently sits on a 103.6, set on soft tyres, so he needs to improve on his soft lap on the mediums. Through into turn one, big
Oh.
lock up, big slide of the rear, whoa, very sideways, and he's going to be saying hello to Ratica as the McLaren leaves the pit lane.
He'll get disqualified too, for good measure.
Oh, for blocking the pit exit, I'm pretty sure, was that?
Well, yeah, Chapelle's last first challenge won't go well because he was started down in P19.
So he's going to go from second last to first.
I did that in another league. It was in wet conditions.
Oh, well, just goes to show how good you are, and surprisingly you didn't spin, Jamie. I must be honest, especially in the wet. Something you are quite renowned for. Yeah.
Wow. Who we got? Is that Mercedes off the pass? Finley, come on! Oh, that was so close to make contact. Finley went off the track there. Was Finley on a lap? Yes, he was. So Finley has ruined his second attempt. And on board with Quicksilver, as he makes his way through the final corner now to start his last flying lap. This could be very interesting. He's currently sat down in P4. His main rival is P5 as he makes his way down into T1 then. Let's see how it takes it. Short shifts up to 5th gear. Car losing the rear end a bit. This first sector is going to be a 15.7. He still improves in that first sector despite that mistake he made. This is difficult turn 3. No problem with that at all as he makes his way down into turn 5. Then yellow flags ahead, hopefully that don't distract him. Breaking at the 100 metre mark, late apex through here. Get on the throttle, but he backs out the throttle slightly because I think he went a little bit wide than he would have wanted. Now coming through turn 6 here, gets close to the apex, carried a bit of speed, used the outside curb. Now into turn 8, turn 7 I think. This is turn 8. Wait, what? How? I don't know, Zach.
Who are we on board with? Quicksilver?
Yeah, Quicksilver now coming towards the penultimate corner, chucks it in, uses the curb. Oh, he validates his lap time. Oh, Quicksilver.
No,
He'll be mad with
another run, hopefully.
Don't think he will because that was a... Yeah.
Oh. That's Quicksilver out of contention for pole. And with Ginger a little bit slower on his lap, this is going to be his final run. He won't get enough time.
Ahead.
Patrick off. Oh, bloody close that was between the Alfa Romeo and the Alpha Tauri. Luckily, ghosting is a thing on the Codemasters F1 game. Chucking it through turn 8 of Rint, I believe, through the final corner, using all the track available to him. Has he invalidated it? Indeed, he has, unfortunately. So, Rataka and Ginger both out of qualifying session. Here's Vapor. It looks like he's backed off his lap. Is it going to be Casizzle sailing to pole? Khan Racer goes up into P4, knocking Ginger out of the top 5. Is Casizzle going to improve and just secure that pole position potentially from the likes of Terra Racer, who could put in an astonishing lap? I guess you'll have to keep me posted with how the Alpha Tauri is getting on across the line. It does.
There's his teammate
into P3
off the track, and he's validated it, and he's angry.
That's a big crash with Casizzle. He's flipped the car over, coming through turn 4. Whoa, big crash. I didn't know if you caught that on stream.
I did, mate. I was on board with him. He flipped the car around. Geordie is the last man to cross the line to finish his lap. He's currently down in P16. Would love to. Oh, never mind. But let's see what he does anyway. What will he do? It's going to be a... Yeah, he doesn't improve. So, Casizzle is on pole position then for the penultimate race of the season. And that's qualifying done for you, and we'll read you out the results. So, Casizzle in first place ahead of the Australian Terra Racer in P3. Alpha Tauri P3. I didn't expect that from Terra Racer, but that was a good lap time from him. Ratica in P4 ahead of Can Racer. Quicksilver, his main rival behind him in P7. Sahila in P8. Jeroen Visser in P9 ahead of FRL Luke. Jay in P11 ahead of Brett. Finley in P13. Patrick in P14. Safay in P15. FRO, Geordie, Symbolics, Mats, Chapelele and Kyle, who got disqualified because he split at turn 1 and the game classed it as blocking the pit entry. Exit. Chapelele, I think he just wants to start in last place because he's already won the championship. Might want to have a bit of fun in this race, see what he could do.
Yeah, I mean, hopefully he can provide us some good racing, especially in these first opening laps. He's got the pace, definitely, otherwise he wouldn't be on the top step of the championship. But nonetheless, it looks very, very overcast for the race, as we saw in qualifying. Luckily, it did brighten up. Will it be the opposite for 36 laps, of course, around about 40 minutes of the race distance? So we could see some rain potentially. Maybe it'll just be clear skies towards the end. But a very close qualifying session, and what is hoping to be a very, very close race. Turn 1 isn't the best overtaking opportunity, but if you get a good start, you can definitely get alongside and up the inside. But I'm sure we're going to see a lot of contact. Hopefully not, but the opening laps in Austria usually do provide. Back in 2019 where we saw, was it 2019, 2020 where we saw Lando Norris really take it to the likes of Lewis Hamilton on the opening laps, and just goes to show anything can happen. Get a good run with the slipstream down into turn 3.
Won that 2019?
And I believe it was, I'm not entirely sure, I can't remember off the top of my head. I know it was Austria, but he definitely gave it to him. I believe it was when Max Verstappen took the win, so yeah, as you say, 2019.
Yeah.
But
Max Verstappen's bogged down on the grid, didn't he? From second place.
From second place, overtaken by his teammate, and come back to lap his teammate.
Yeah.
Goes to show the struggles of that second Red Bull car, as the same driver did go back to claim a podium and then a further win in Monza in 2020. Of course, the second driver I'm talking about is Pierre Gasly, who is definitely an impressive star, and hopefully one to watch for the future. But nonetheless, Casizzle does lead us round the formation lap. You can see everyone weaving around like snakes to get the temperature into the tyres. Of course, with the weaving around, you put the lateral load on the tyres. The friction caused by that does generate a little bit of heat. So, you know, the friction does heat it up. It allows the tyres to be more malleable, be more grippy, and absorb a lot more of the lateral loads. So, obviously, it is good to have your tyres within a good temperature window, as you can obviously see with a lot of races, everyone weaving around. But it is looking to be pretty intense 36 laps, Jamie.
Yeah, and the only driver to start outside the top 10 on the soft compound tyre is Kyle, so he should have a better start compared to those media runners, and he'll be the last man turning up on the grid, so he'll have the warmest tyres out of all of them. So let's see what he can do with the softs then. Can he get a good start? Can he jump most of these media runners ahead of him? The highest, second highest media runner is Luke in P10. Kyle getting... Oh, spinner! Already on the formation lap, and that is Mats who's just spun at the formation lap.
That is off at the formation lap was Brazil 2017, was it, if I'm correct, with Romain Grosjean?
It was Robert Kubica and Max Verstappen who spun in 2019 China.
Oh yeah, of course, but
you're right though with Romain Grosjean. It was 2016 for Grosjean because it was a wet race in 2016, wasn't it? He didn't start the race.
It was indeed. But here we are then to the lights. I'll let Jamie talk you through the couple of laps, and well, hopefully it's going to be an intense couple of laps.
Red Bull from second place. 2019 he won from second place. Max Verstappen. Can Vapor repeat the same thing?
We'll just have to wait and see as we're waiting for the green flag. Here we go then, Jamie.
4 lights, 5 lights. We are underway for round 13 of the Austrian Grand Prix. The Red Bull's got a decent start. He's jumped the Alfa Romeo as we head down into turn 1. It's 3 wide with the McLaren, but the McLaren backs out of it. Goes deep into the corner. He goes off the track, and the Alfa Romeo is fighting back with the Red Bull. AlphaTauri versus Renault, along with the other Alfa Romeo behind them. They go side by side into turn 3. AlphaTauri versus Renault. Down the inside goes Casizzle into turn 3. Down the inside goes the Renault into turn 3. That's Quicksilver who's got ahead of Toe Racer. Look, he's got a decent exit coming out of turn 3. He's about to take the Red Bull on. The Red Bull's in the slipstream of Casizzle. As we head down into turn 4, Quicksilver's around the outside of both of them. Can he take them both on? He can. He takes both of them on. He tries to. Casizzle around the outside, but luckily... Yeah, he's got a P2, it's a really good start. He goes around the outside, it's turn 7, he's not keeping up, is he? He's got good momentum, but unfortunately hasn't got the grip to go around the outside. Casizzle stays in P1, so he got jumped off the start and managed to reclaim first place. Vapor has lost the position then, as we got yellow flags in sector 2 already. That's Mats again, who's just spun. He spun on the formation lap, and I believe he's lost his front wing. As Ginger is in P4, Ginger was the car that was also fighting with the AlphaTauri. The AlphaTauri's lost 2 positions already. He's jumped down, but look at that. Here comes Vapor back on Quicksilver down the inside of turn 1. You didn't expect to see that, but he did use a lot of ERS. As he goes deep into turn 1, that's allowing the Renault to come back at him. They go side by side now as we make our way uphill into turn 2. As Quicksilver backs out of it, so will he go down the inside? No, he won't. He will decide to get the slipstream. No DRS yet, of course. It's lap 2. So... Symbolics and Mats are in the pits already, so one of those two make contact. He goes onto the hard compound tyres. Luke has made his way past the racing point of Sahilo. The Ferrari chair looking at the back of Giroud Visa in the Williams. As Kyle's a P19, so he hasn't really made much positions on those soft compound tyres like I thought he would, but still got plenty of laps to go left in this race. As right then, so it's all calmed down now as Jay has got past Giroud Vizza. Down the inside goes the McLaren as well. Khan's got past him. So has the Haas driver. I wonder if the Williams has got for wind damage. Brett's sure to go down the inside into this corner. Yes, oh, that was always going to happen. That was always going to happen. As into the pits comes the Williams. We've got some midfield mayhem going on all over the place, those guys. And here comes Chapelele from last P19 to P12 already. He's overtaken the Mercedes. As look at that. Down the inside goes Patrick on the Racing Point. Racing Point goes off the track. Chapelele to make contact with him. Chapelele's got past the Racing Point. He's about to overtake Patrick as well. So here comes Finley on the Racing Point as well. Will Chapelele go around the outside? Yes, he will. Tries to go around the outside. Patrick will cut him off and he goes off the track. Gets on the grass as well, which you don't want to do. Look at that, look at the midfield. They're just fighting it out. Here comes the Racing Point on Chapelele. Finley's been under pressure from Brett as he around the outside, but he outbreaks him into turn 4. Finley's around the outside of Brett, but Brett's got a decent exit, and Brett will take on the Racing Point as well if he can do. Into turn 5 we go. But he goes wide, that allows Finley to come back at him if he can. No, Brett still has the momentum as Brett will take 30th place ahead of Finley. So, got some scraps going on the midfield there.
Definitely so, Jamie, and it looks like everyone's getting racy so far, side by side through turn 8. Bread back up the inside. Everyone looking incredibly racy as Ginger with some very good pace in these earlier stages. But yeah, as you say, Chapelele keen to get through, bit of contact. But overall, such a great bit of racing. There's yellow flags through sector 1. That's Rataka around through turn 1. I can see his position dropping down the tower. As up in front is that the Ferrari of Khan Racer and the Ferrari of Jer and Khan Racer going side by side up into turn 3. But nonetheless, a very keen start. Everyone looking like they want to get off to a very good one. There's Rataka around the outside of Chapelele looking to defend his position. There they go then, side by side on the run into turn 4. Nearly 3 abreast of the Haas is going to have a look. Brett looking to follow the McLaren through. Here's the other Williams back up the inside, 2x2. Noah's Ark, big lock up from Chapelele. And the Haas looking to get it back up the inside. Still side by side they go though through into turn 6. It looks like the AlphaTauri is going to claim that position. But here there goes Chapelele around the outside of Rataka. Can't quite keep the foot in. Of course, on those medium tyres, can't get grip from Rataka looking to stick this one out, and everyone looking still incredibly risky up the front. We have got DRS enabled. It does look as though everyone has sort of just tried to stay stationary where they are, as I did predict.
Here comes Bird down the inside again. Unbelievable. The final corner, he's taking Chapelele at the final corner, but Chapelele's got a decent exit, but he's not using the DRS on Bird, so he stays behind him. Midfield is so hectic here. Side by side action all day long, but we'll go back into the top 2 because the top 2 are very close indeed. Look at that, Quicksilver all over the back of Vapor's gearbox spot. We've got Ginger there too, along with Terrace, who's just further back as they're all in the DRS train behind Kazizo at the moment. So a lot of things going on in this early part of the race, very interesting indeed as they all lock up into turn 4. What's going on further behind? Here comes Rataka back on Patrick, and he'll take it to the outside route with the soft tyres. He's got the momentum to go around the outside. He'll try sticking around the outside, which he does. Patrick gives him space respectively. But Patrick, though, got a better run. He goes around the outside. Patrick, down the inside goes Rataka. And he's taking a place. Oh, has he? He had a massive tank slapper coming out of there. And he's on the grass and he's lost a lot of positions. And he will continue to drop down the order. And he's currently down in P14. That's really a shame for him. And here comes Kyle on Jordy. They've got a better run than both of them. Kyle goes down the inside of the penultimate corner and he's taking them on. And he has indeed. That's a massive shame for Rataka. That one mistake has cost him loads of positions. As here we go then. Here comes Vapor. Will he try and make a move down at turn 3? Yes, he does. They go side by side. The Alpha has the inside line. On board with Quicksilver, the acting cameraman. They both come side by side at the corner, but the Kazizo has DRS. Will Quicksilver try and make a move? Will he make it 3 wide? Will he ooh.
Thinks a lot better of that one. Still looking up the inside. They're going to be 3 abreast on the exit though. The Red Bull squeezed out just like in 2023 abreast, and it looks like Quicksilver's managed to get a very nice cutback on the bow from compromised run from the Alfa Romeo and the Red Bull to squeeze his way through up into the race lead. Very good racecraft shown from the Red Bull there, who were just sitting back, didn't make it 3 wide, thought better of it, and definitely finds himself up into the lead of the race. But still, despite the DRS train, they are all looking very feisty, despite saving ERS tyres, fuel, etc. But some very good racing in the midfield as well, and it looks like even just in the earlier stage, we're only a sixth of the way through the race, we're still being treated to what has been some great racing. Let's see if Kazizo's eager to get that lead back through turn 1. Needs a good run. He's got the drag reduction system wide open is the Alfa Romeo. Can he launch an attack on the Red Bull? Is he going to think better of it? It looks as though he's just going to think better of it, not using his energy recovery system. Of course, the heat energy when he brakes turned into electrical energy, powers a motor into, which then gives him an extra 140. You can use that for a limited time per lap, and it looks like he's going to not be using it to reclaim the lead on this particular occasion. But as I said, there's going to be a lot of DRS games go on. We've got a 5-way fight for the race lead, and any one of these guys could realistically take it. Interesting to see when we're going to see a couple of these guys pit, Jamie.
Yeah, we did have on board with Carl. He's going around the outside of the racing point of Safari. Oh, so he gets on the grass and he loses the car but managed to save it. That'll cost him a lot of time, but Jordy doesn't take advantage of that. Getting on the grass is what cost him. It lit up the rear tyres and he almost spun himself around. But I did see at turn 3 somebody took out the 100-metre board, so people using no line will struggle to find a reference point if they can. Maybe they'll use other people. As down the inside goes Cam Racer on the racing point, but looks like he'll have a better exit, will Sahilu. Chapelele has been overtaken by Finley. So has the 100-metre board been taken out, Zach? Yes, it has. And here comes the racing point back down the inside of Can Racer, and he's done it. And here comes the Ferrari too. The Ferrari's made a move on him too. They'll take them both on. They'll try to anyways. Here comes Jer. Taking 2 people on, but the back down the inside goes Sahilu on Jer. And Sahilu looks like he's retaken the place off Jer, which he has. He stays in 6th place, so Can Racer's lost 2 positions in the space of 2 corners. Looks like he's struggling for grip as well. As Chapelele, in all that, has re-overtaken. Oh, Jer gets out of shape. Here comes Can Racer. And Can Racer has re-overtaken Jer. Chapelele has re-overtaken Finley.
Oh, Quicksilver's off out of the final corner. The man contending for the race lead is going to pull back onto the track, ghosting, not playing too big of a factor, luckily, but sideways out of the final corner was Quicksilver. Sorry to interrupt you there, Jamie, but that was a massive moment. And backwards, he's lost a chunk of his front wing as well for good measure, and that's going to be him well out of the contention. And this is crucial for his fight with Ginger. In the championship, there's someone off the back. Is that Chapelele off as well? Yes, it is. Chapelele into the wall as well. He got swamped off the start of the race. Side by side is the racing point with the Red Bull further up the inside. Can he get it done? Yes, he does. Up the inside of the Red Bull. The Red Bull on the outside for this occasion. The racing point still side by side with them. He's going to have the DRS, but Jordy looking eager to stay off that. And the McLaren going to make it 3 abreast into turn 4 around the outside. Red Bull's around the outside. Bit of contact with the racing point, and the McLaren's going to follow him through. There's a bit of a sideways moment for the Red Bull, who's now under pressure from a compromised Chapelele.
Oh, Chapelele!
Clipped his rail. Oh no, he's round. Nightmare race for the champion of Tier 1. And
Sifei's got off the track as well. He's on the grass, and he rejoins behind the Red Bull. So that was mad stuff. The Red Bull got full wing damage off the racing point. Chapelele hit the wall, and he's half spun himself, and yeah, he stays out. I'm surprised he did not pit. That full wing damage is going to cost him a lot of time. As Quicksilver then into the pits he comes to change the full wing. This will make life easier for Ginger, because Ginger now is in a good position as Symbolics has retired from the session. Well, that caused a safety car. He's crashed where Verstappen's crashed before. Then at turn 7, I believe. Will that cause safety car? The virtual safety car. Meanwhile, the side-by-side Can Racer and the racing point, but looks like the racing point will take the place because he was ahead before the virtual safety car was activated. So the virtual safety car, they're finally slowing things down, Zach. What an amazing 10 laps it's been.
Well, the first 10 laps has definitely been battles up and down the field. Oh, bloody hell. Just honestly speechless. There's been fight for the race lead, there's been fight for more midfield positions, and now recently we've seen a lot of bottle lids open, especially with the front runner Chapelele, of course, being compromised up against the midfield, getting just sort of swamped between everyone. It's also triggered a couple of pit stops, important pit stops at the front. The Red Bull of Knuth into the pits for some hard tyres, and we are green once again. Is there going to be an important battles up and down the grid? Have we got anyone pretty close together? I saw there's a Ferrari close to a McLaren off the restart. Can Jer get himself up side of the McLaren for a provisional P4 position, of course, on the medium tyre, looking to take these tyres longer into the race. and he's done a pretty good job of that. Bit of contact on the
Ferrari
exit of
spun,
turn
I believe.
3.
I think there's a Ferrari facing the wrong way, which it is. A Luke has spun to the final corner on those hard compound tyres. That's a shame. He didn't start. He had a early pit stop and he switched over to the hard compound tyres. So he must have been one of those drivers that got caught in some midfield mayhem. And here comes the fate on Geordie. Down the inside he goes into turn 4. Makes the move stick and he puts himself up into P11. So where did those guys rejoin? Ratka rejoined in P15. And who else pitted? It was Kyle pitted too. But where's the main runner? Yeah, it's Vapor Cruth and Terror Racer. Those two pitted and they're in P9 and P10. Got a bit of clear air ahead of him. We've got Finley next to... and Jay's all over the back of Can Racer. And Can Racer's on the back of Sahilu. This is the battle for a net P3 for those two. And Ginger and Kizizzle still leading this. And Alfa Romeo 1-2. As into the pits goes Geordie for his first pit stop. Just a bit of a DRS train really going on. Will Can Racer make a move down the inside here? No, he does not. As Quicksilver gets a 3-second time penalty, just trying to desperately make something off this race. He's back on the back of Vatica. Quicksilver's made the move as Luke has retired in the pit, Zach.
Yeah, well, very hectic couple of laps. Especially battles up and down the field. Quicksilver looking to make progress. He's onto the medium tyre. Might go to the end of the stretch. He's battling with a previous lead race contender who was on the hard and in the McLaren into turn 4. Then not quite going to be able to close down on this particular occasion. Looks like we've had a nice little scrap up for P4 as Sahilu is into the pit lane, but Can Racer up into P3. Of course, a lot of the soft runners yet to pit. Ginger, Kissizzle and Khan all yet to pit on the soft compound tyre.
Jay's already got Jay on the back of the McLaren. He's already got a penalty for extended track limits. He needs to be careful because that'll be another warning for him if he keeps continuing to do that. It's turn 1 where he cuts the most, and Jay doesn't make it. He knows that Can Racer has barely got any ERS to play with. Luke's left the session. That's sad for Luke. Hopefully he can come back stronger next race or probably next season, if he is racing next season.
Just taking a quick look at the lap times between the man in the Red Bull of Vapor and the race leader of Kissizzle. Both doing pretty identical lap times. 106.8 on the previous lap for Vapor, 106.9 on the previous lap for Kissizzle, who is now into the pit lane. So this could be interesting, could be close on the pit exit. Vapor, of course, going for that one couple of lap.
Oh, Can, careful.
Yeah, very quick into the pit lane. But nonetheless, yeah, very quick. Couple of laps from Vapor. He's managed to catch Finley, and at the right time he is going to jump Kissizzle, I believe, in the pit lane, and of course he is cleanly up into P6. Hopefully going to be the net race lead for him. He's got Ginger yet to pit as well, looking to get himself up the inside. We've also got Bread up in front, looking to send it on the Ferrari. Big, very, very close into turn 3. In fact, he's got DRS on the exit. But as we've seen, the common theme recently doesn't look like he's going to go for the move into turn 4. I'm just going to sit stationary and just wait for that timing. Of course, these medium runners need to work together. They don't want to be squabbing it out. They want to be working together, getting their pace as quickly up there as they can, and making the jump on the soft to hard runners. They want to go from medium to soft, maybe medium to hard if they can. But they're going to be looking to take it long into the race nonetheless, Jamie.
Here, into the pits goes Ginger, then the last soft runner to come into the pits, and he will switch over to the hard tyres, leaving the medium runners to lead this race. Those 4 medium runners in P2, P3 will take one position off Ginger. Here comes Bread then, still on the back of Jay, as we head into turn 1. How long will it take for Bread to make a move on Jay? We've got Patrick behind him too, dragging along Finley. Finley's under massive pressure from Kuth. Looks like Kuth's going to make it, which he is. And Kuth is up into 4th place. If Bread goes down the inside of Jay, here comes Patrick going down the inside too. But he gets a horrible exit, and that's allowed Jay to stay ahead of him and use the inside line to really get a good sting shot coming out of turn 3. And Ginger has rejoined behind his teammate down in P7. So let's see how the race plans out then, as got a battle in the midfield here, and Chapelele's overtaken his teammate Jeroen Visser. And the racing points, switch positions very easily. Didn't want to fight that too hard. So lap 15 out of 16 then. Casizzle on a brand new set of mediums. Can their mediums make it to the end? 21 laps? I think they will.
At stretch, possibly. I mean, he's done 15 on the softs, so 20 on the mediums doesn't seem like too far-fetched of an endeavour. And he's looking good. Pit window open for the one-stop strategy medium.
Chapelele again, mate. Spun.
Oh, big. He's just not having the race tonight, is he, Chapelele? The championship has been wrapped up, so it's not going to be taking too much off him. But yeah, just not the race, and hopefully he can bring it back for next season. But yeah, just looks like he's out there to have a bit of fun, and he's got nothing to lose. And luckily, but Quicksilver on the other hand, who's had a bit of a spin earlier, is going to be losing second place in the championship unless he can bring it back with some magical stuff.
Safety car is what he needs, isn't it?
Safety car definitely is what he needs. We can see him making a move nicely on the Williams of Jerome Vizor. We got Rataka right in his mirrors as well, but a clean move into turn 2, very nicely done. That's Tim Matt round at turn 1 once again as well. Side by side is Safei and Calm Racer. Calm Racer once again on the outside. This is only for P10, but it's definitely a crucial battle for that last podium play, point play, sorry, I should say. Bit of contact through turn 6 as they negotiate their way through, but Calm Racer looking very feisty on those fresh mediums, needing to chase after the other racing point who tried his hardest. Casizzle again on the fresh tyres. He's on the back of Terror Racer, who opted for the hard tyres. Looks like this is going to be a pretty easy move for him to make. Ginger with some astonishing pace. He's got to set the fastest lap. Here goes Casizzle then on Terror Racer to the outside. Terror Racer tries his hardest to defend, but it's going to be all in vain. And the tyrant that is Casizzle cleanly makes himself up into P6. And this is a big battle going on, is it?
Change of leadership between Jay and Brett. Jay has got past Brett. Here comes Patrick around the outside. Brett's lost 2 positions already, unless he try to go down the inside and defend his position. Patrick has the momentum around the outside, but they're still side by side coming out of turn 4 now, making their way to turn 5. As Patrick... Brett spun! No, he hasn't.
He's managed to hold it.
Finley!
Finley! Oh, he's put him on the grass. No! That was a very impressive hold from Brett, but just side by side on the outside, it's never usually going to work. That's given Finley some damage as well. And Vapor, who's kept his nose clean, has managed to negotiate his way through, and he's already challenging the likes of Patrick and Jeff.
Oh, Ginger. That was an unfair penalty from Ginger.
It's definitely a shame. It's very easy to do here at the Red Bull Ring. Into turn 1 then goes Vapor. He's looking to get himself past the AlphaTauri here at the Red Bull Ring. The Red Bull Senior, the Red Bull Junior to the outside. He's opting for the outside, looking confident, and it looks as though he's going to sail past with DRS. Looks to the inside, does the AlphaTauri to defend. It's going to be in vain, only going to damage his own race if he does. And Vapor already within the DRS of Jer and chasing him down for the race lead. And we have to remember, he has already pitted in this race, has Vapor, so he's to the end, and it looks as though he's looking to take this win here at the Red Bull Ring, provided all goes well for the next 18 or so laps, Jamie.
Halfway distance. Plenty of things happening. What's happened down the field then? Is it a Mercedes of Finley has possibly made a mistake? He's going slow, but he's picked up the pace again, so I think he might have a bit of a spin. Chapelele on the back of Geordie. Those two are fighting for P16. Not really what they want to fight for, but Chapelele almost lost it coming out of turn 3. As Finley lets them both go. So Finley's got some problems there. I don't know what problems he's got. Down the inside goes Sharp. He tried to, but Geordie sticks it around the outside and stays in 15th place. So Finley then, what's happened to him? Did he just want to fight them? Chapelele goes wide, and that's allowing Finley, but Geordie spun! And Finley's gone down the inside of Chapelele. Has got a change in leadership at the front, which is... Oh! Did you see what happened?
Yeah, I did. It looks as though it was the reverse of 2019. The Ferrari on the inside this time, with the Red Bull on the outside, looking to claim the race lead. Bit of contact as he rejoined the track. Still going to force him wide. Give him nothing on the exit, is Jer. That's going to allow him to get himself up the side, up into P2. Surprise from him then after pitting from the softs to the mediums. This is definitely going to help him, and this is a big knock to Vapor, who, well, it looked as though Jer did let him through, but at the into turn 1. But then he decided to come back at him, and Jeb really is not in this race between the leaders at all. He still is yet to pit, and he should not be fighting this as hard as he is. Of course, he does have the right to fight it, but he's damaging his own race, and he's damaged the race of Vapor in the process, just fighting too hard. And if I was him, I definitely would have let these guys through. But Nonetheless, he's got Vapor for company. Vapor's going to have another look. He's got DRS wide open. He's got Ginger all over the back of him. This is going to be Vapor to the outside. The Red Bull to the outside. Looks like Ginger's going to make it 3 abreast into turn 2. Up the inside. Bit of contact between the two. Still 3 abreast. And once again, Vapor being yonked off the track. And he's compromised. He's going to lose the position to Terror Racer, who's looking to the inside. Ginger as well, looking to the outside of the Ferrari. Here he goes then for P3. Bit of contact between the two once again. But the Ferrari leaves him the sufficient space on the exit, and Vapor manages to hold on to P5 there, luckily managing to do so. But Ginger up into P3, Vapor still behind Jer, and it looks like these two are having a fierce rivalry. Red Bulls and Ferrari here at the Red Bull Ring do not bode well for Jamie.
Did you know what you said about Vapor Cruz, how they was supposed to win here from... let's not. Commentators cursed him, I'm afraid. I'm so sorry, Vapor, but he's still got a chance. He's still in it. He has the pace. Can he do it? He just needs to get past Ginger. Still, he's definitely not in this race up the front. He's still got a pit. He's on 20 lap old mediums, and he's fighting it as if it's for the last lap for the race lead. So if I just don't know what's going through his thought process. Maybe he just wants a battle, but it's just getting in the way and ruining it for Vapor, who needs to get past now to the inside. Can he send it? Yes, he does. Patrick. Oh, that's a big lock up in contact, and he's spun Patrick. No. Oh, Vapor. No. He's going to wait up for the AlphaTauri, but he was so eager to send it on the brakes that he found himself not getting that stopped. And, well, I can tell you, his legs are definitely going to be cramped. And that is just a massive It's like the 2 McLarens in Austria. If you remember far back. And Chapelele, they will probably retire.
With DC and, was it... Oh, I can't remember who the other was. Was it DC and Hakkinen?
Yeah, I think it was DC and Hakkinen. It's just... Jer, I think it was the main issue with old tyres. Jer's tyres are 20 lap old and done, so Jer was the main problem in all that.
Jer's definitely been a massive shake-up in this race, finally into the pits and fighting it as if it's the last lap. Not quite sure what's going through his thought process, as I said, but Vapor into the pits, has some damage, and is going to be needing a set. No, he's going to retire, so Vapor, from a chance of the race lead, has packed his bags and left. So, my bad, Vapor. I have to send out some apologies to him there, but
it looks like he was comfortable, and it looks like he was about to win this race. But all of a sudden, it's just changed, and he's down in 5th place. Now he has to go to the pits and change his full wing, and now he's retired. All of a sudden, he was the net race leader. Then it just all changed. Then Kisizo, thanks to Jer, Kisizo made his way past, and Jer made it very, very hard for Vapor, didn't he?
Yeah, definitely. You've got a little battle going on here between Khan and is this Sihiru around the outside of turn 5. Very bold move to make the racing point, sticking it on the inside, but can't quite get it done. So that is Khan up into P5. He's had a bit of a quiet race, pulled off some good moves, but nonetheless has found himself up into P5. Very well done. Attack on the back of Jer, who's on the softs and is going to be looking quick. But again, he just got in the way so much.
Ginger.
Ginger with a 3-second penalty as well for good measure. He's probably up to like 9 seconds now. 6 seconds is Ginger.
Come on, Ginger.
But he's still on the back of his teammate in Alfa Romeo 1-2, so still looking pretty good for the Constructors to take the Constructors Championship, Brett, with the fastest lap. But yeah, Jeb really did rob us of a fight for the race lead. We had Kasizzle charging after Vapor with the fresh mediums, and then we had Vapor trying to hold on with the hards, and he definitely robbed us there. But nonetheless, he had the right to defend his position, don't get me wrong, but would probably have been better for his race and their race if he just sort of backed out of it, because think he lost probably 4 seconds in that fight. He'd have been right up there with Quicksilver at this point.
Oh, yellow flags in that set to 2-3, and that's the Mercedes
Finley.
Just spun round. Finley?
I think it is. He's
yeah, it
lost
is.
the position. Yeah.
Well, I sorted myself out finally got the graphics back. So Quicksilver P6 then, not bad from him despite him spinning earlier on in this race, but shame to see really what could have been if he was involved in that battle. Could have more drama and more action, but yeah, I agree with you, Zach. You have the right to defend and all that, but you don't have to fight too hard, especially you're fighting the inevitable. You know what I mean?
Exactly that. He still had to pit. He was not in their race whatsoever, and just robbed us of a fight for the race lead. And I don't know what he gained out of that. Like, if he'd have just let them through, stuck in the slipstream in the DRS, I'm certain he'd be already up there with Quicksilver, maybe even see you in the Racing Point, and he potentially even Khan. You know, he could be in P4 had he just thought a little bit longer into the race, and just, you know, he gave us a little bit of racing, rubbing his racing, but at the end of the day, it probably would have been better for his race to just let them through and stick in DRS.
He was fighting with people like Patrick, and the more he fought with Jer, the more Patrick would get away. You know what I mean? The more he fought with them guys, the top runners, the more Patrick would get away. And Patrick's in P10 at the moment on a brand new set of softs going to the end, the alternative strategy. Jer was fighting the guys like Brad, Patrick. Where is Jer? P7, so not bad from Jer, despite... Yeah, Jer's in P7.
Still definitely a good position. We've still got 17 runners, so he's not doing too bad, don't get me wrong, but definitely could be up there if he'd have just waited a little bit longer. And it looks like as though we've got a pretty spread out grid. We've got, what is that, 12 laps of this race left to go.
So it looks like...
himself up after a 3-second penalty.
So it looks like...
Sorry to keep on you.
It's fine, mate, don't worry. It looks like Jer's fight is with Quicksilver. He'll catch Quicksilver easily because Quicksilver might have to go to the pits for a brand new set of mediums. I don't think they'll make it to the end. 11 laps to go, 25 laps maybe, but look, by the state of those tyres, they don't look too good at the moment. He'll catch Sahilu and Can. They're both fighting for P4. Maybe easy challenge for Sahilu being on those harder tyres. So Jer's targets is Can Racer, and the most he can get is P4 unless his penalties will drag him down. Same with Brett and Patrick really, but they're further behind. Yeah, so that's their targets. Ratica, all he could do is defend from Brett and Jer. It'll be quite difficult because he's on the hard compound tyres and Brett is catching rapidly, so is Patrick behind. So it looks like he's fighting with Kyle unless he can defend from Brett and Patrick. He can't catch Jer on a brand new set of softs, so the most he can get is probably P10.
And here is the Racing Point all over the back of the McLaren, finally putting the challenge on, and his best bet is to wait for those mediums to hit the cliff. Of course, on the harder compound now, there'll be a point where they sort of level off and the hards become quicker than the mediums. Of course, the harder rubber wearing a lot less than the mediums. So into turn 3, looking to get it done. In third gear to get the power. Khan with an inhumane launch off that corner, as I believe Brett did get through on Rataka, but nonetheless, with the battle into turn 4, he's low on fuel, really running it tight as Safei gets himself another 3-second penalty. But see you, how do you even say that? Sahilu?
Sahilu, yeah, Sahilu.
The Racing Point, we'll say, is on the back of the McLaren.
He was my old teammate. His name's James, if you want to call him that.
James in the Racing Point with an awkward name. And,
James and Jamie in the Racing Point together one time.
Yeah. James, Jamie, awkward names, nonetheless, into the final corner. He's
Thank
got
you,
DRS,
Zach.
he's all over the back of the McLaren. So far, Sahilu hasn't spun, so looks like opposites attract in that respect. But into turn 1, nonetheless, is Sahilu. He's got the DRS. Is he going to launch an attack on the McLaren? Doesn't look like on this occasion. We've not really got any battles going on.
Jer's catching Quicksilver. Both Dutch.
This could be an interesting.
Both Dutches fight with each other. Jer's got more EOS compared to Quicksilver. Quicksilver gets a bad exit quit out there. Sahilu's far too bad to fight Can Racer, and Quicksilver's defended the inside, making Jer go the long way round, or yeah, he lets him go. Yeah.
That's what Jer should have done for the fight for the race lead, but Quicksilver thinking with his brain, because he knows if he lets Jer go, he won't lose time fighting and possibly might be able to hold on from Bread once his mediums fall into that little bit better of a tyre category against the softs. But yeah. Quicksilver
was the McLaren, but there's two different McLaren drivers. The Beast and Quicksilver was the McLaren, but looks like those two have gone to different teams. I don't know where the Beast is. If you remember, the Beast and Quicksilver made contact to turn 1 to Japan. They both spun each other. Well, I think Quicksilver spun. No, it was the Beast spun Quicksilver around.
Well, that's certainly less than ideal. We've lost Tim Matz from the race as well, so a lot of people just looking to pack their bags and call it a day. But Quicksilver keeping with Jer nicely. That is the effect of the DRS here at Austria.
Oh, Safei spun, by the way, at turn 4. That's why the yellow flags are out there at turn 4, as everybody goes past him. But he's currently down in P15. The only guy behind him is Finley. It's spun again. Oh dear.
Absolute calamity.
I believe another driver has. Nah, it's a retired car. Never mind.
Oh Christ! Luckily the ghosting was in fact there, or was it taking his teammate out? But Sahilu Gets himself up another 3-second penalty. But, Jamie, interestingly, Ginger's into the DRS of Casizzle.
And Casizzle, if you just noticed that, is the only driver that's not got a penalty.
Well, he's definitely kept it,
Who's that?
consistent at the front.
That's a racing point again. And here comes Bread on the back of Quicksilver. Quicksilver is on the DRS behind Jer. That's his only defence, because Bread will be inevitably much faster, but unless Quicksilver can stay in that DRS, it looks like Bread will overtake him. Surveyor's retired from the session then.
Luckily in the pit, so there won't be any long-standing yellow flags, luckily. And looks as though, yeah, Quicksilver's defence definitely is the fact that he has got DRS. It looks like he is closing his Bread, but I'm just on board up the front between Ginger and Casizzle. Of course, Ginger, with 6 seconds, probably won't take the win, but definitely going to be looking to take it on pride, and I'm sure he'd love to take the win on track. Of course, anyone would. We're all racing drivers, and he'd love to do that. But into the final corner, looking a bit shaky, and Casizzle holding his nerve. Ginger with 1 lap fresher tyres. He's not got the ERS he potentially would have liked, but he's going to be looking to get himself up in front of his teammate.
Oh, this is interesting. Here comes Ben around the outside into turn 8. Is he going to make it? No, he's not. I mean, I've seen Ben do 2 moves in the final 2 corners, but didn't make too far behind Quicksilver on that moment. But I might get into turn 1 though, because he's got a better exit. And when he gets to turn 1, yes he does, goes down the inside into turn 1. Quicksilver still around the outside, not giving up, but Quicksilver hasn't got DRS at the back of Jer. And yep, here goes Bread on Jer. I mean, here goes Bread on Quicksilver. And yep, easy move from him. Back to Ginger. 6 laps to go. What can he do against his teammate?
Well, on track, probably a lot of things. He's picked himself up another 3-second time penalty, so it's pretty much a done deal. He won't be taking this one on the timing sheets, but on track he could definitely do a good one, unless he baits his teammate into a very harsh mistake. That wouldn't be too nice.
I think Terror Racer will finish 2nd place at this moment.
As it stands, probably, yeah. He's got them not too far up the road. He's got Chafalele to the lap. Not often you see the champion getting lapped, but there he goes. Casizzle very shaky out of turn 1. This is Ginger's chance to pounce. Here goes the Alpha Romeos. Sorry, lost my words a bit there, but the teammates, the 2 Titans fighting it out. To the outside goes Ginger. Can he get it stopped? Gonna have to wait. He's gonna set up a cutback as Casizzle goes in a little bit deep. The 2 teammates once again dueling it out. We've only got 6 laps left to go. Casizzle to the inside. Ginger looking for the inside. Gonna have to be up to the outside. There he goes. Then he's ahead into the corner. But Casizzle very late on the brakes, side by side through turn 4. Ginger gonna leave him to hang, to dry around the outside. Still side by side. And it looks as though Casizzle is gonna back out of that one and think better of it. Set it up maybe for a run in DRS down and towards turn 1, 2 or 4.
And
could be interesting.
And here comes the McLaren of Matica, the side of the Williams. Jerome Vizza, lost for words. Finley's gone off the track. He goes spins, he half spins, and he almost take Jerome Vizza out with him, but managed to reshape his car. And Jerome Vizza lost the place. Not really the way you want to overtake somebody, but oh well.
Here's Casizzle all over the back of Ginger into turn 1, really pushing him through turn 1. He's going to have the DRS, he's going to have the ERS, he's got a lot more ERS than his teammate. Here he goes into turn 3. Can he launch an attack? Ginger without DRS to defend with. Can he send it to the inside? Going to think better of it. Set up a good exit. We've seen Casizzle get some nice exits off this corner. Ginger with a nice exit though on this particular occasion. Can Casizzle get it up the inside? He's got the closing speed, but he's just going to run out of time and opportunity. Going to have to stick behind and wait this one out. He probably knows Ginger's got a penalty, so doesn't want to send it and just wants to stick behind, which is a shame, but you can respect him for doing that. Doesn't want to come together with his teammate when he knows he'll take the win on track. But yeah, nonetheless, we've got the race points still behind the McLaren.
However,
very close.
However, Terror Racer has caught up. He's 1.4 seconds behind, and it's on the hard compound tyres as well. Those 2 medium runners could possibly come to an end on those tyres, and that means Terror Racer will take advantage. 4 laps left to go in this race. Can Terror Racer get closer and closer? As we've got a yellow flag down there for Williams, I think. Kisses are all over the back of his teammate again. Look at the state of those tyres.
Definitely not in any good shape whatsoever. Just going to sit behind again on this occasion. But Terror Racer, let's have a quick look at his penalties. So 3 seconds, so doesn't have too big of a penalty. So if Casizzle does mess up, I'll take a quick look at his penalty situation. Is that Casizzle? Yeah, and 2. Yeah, 2 warnings. I don't know which of those are for contact, but 1 more warning for track limits, and that will be a penalty. So it could be close. Of course, he just needs to keep it clean for these last couple of laps. But Terra Racer now within DRS of these guys at front, and Chapelele, well, he's keeping it with the front runners. Of course, he's going to be ghosted on a lap down, but still, he's got the pace.
Bird has overtaken Jer. They're both on roughly the same tyre, so Bird did catch Jer at the end, and he's moved up into P6. Chapelele, as you said, right there with him. That'll distract me, that would, being a ghost in the fight. It's done it to me before.
Yeah, but here's Ginger having to break the toe down into turn 1. Wants this win on the track, that'll be a good way to secure second in the championship. But here goes Kazizel. He's got the DRS, he's got the overtake to the inside, squeeze himself up the inside. Alfa Romeo's once again side by side into turn 2. Latest on the brakes, who's it going to be? It's going to be Kazizel as he finds himself back into the race lead with Terra Racer looking hungry. He wants to get himself in this mingle, he wants to get himself amongst these two. Kazizel to the inside, Ginger back to the outside, side by side once again into turn 4. Can he get it around the outside? Gonna have to run out of talent, run out of room, and Kazizel taking his racing line on the exit into the infield sections of turn 5 and 6. Got to keep it as close to that inside curb as you possibly can. Ginger not too worried about penalties on this particular occasion. We're going to be rounding off lap 34 onto the penultimate lap in just a moment, but Terra Racer is all over the back of Ginger. Chapelele still not budging out of the way. He's going to move out of the way for the AlphaTauri and just sit back and glance at what has so far been such a good fight between the top 3, and Terra Racer going to make it an even more complete battle for the top 3 as Vapor does leave the session, but 5 tenths separates the 3 cars at the top 3. Kazizel looking favourites to take the win, but Ginger and Terra Racer are not going to give up. They're going to fight it through to the end. We're on to the penultimate lap. 35 or 36 is what we've been leading up to in the slipstream, in the DRS. Lick it, stick it, send it to the inside. Is Ginger going to be very late on the brakes, bit of contact with his teammate, going to be very, very close on the exit. All 3 in a conga line on the exit. DRS wide open, Finley moving nicely out of the way. Can Ginger get it into turn 4? Not going to be using his ERS, but this is so far a very, very intense fight. There goes Ginger trying to get himself up the inside of his teammate. Can't quite do it. Terra Racer on the back foot when it comes to the fuel situation, really balancing on what is what is fine lines. Very thin ice between him and fuel, but we're going to be rounding off the Worth curve and on the run in Turin of lap 35 and be on to the final lap. So it's going to come down to the final lap. This is what Ginger's going to be waiting for, very deep, and Terra Racer very committed. Turn 8 into the Red Bull Mobile. Corner very sideways for Ginger. He's got sideways out of the final corner. We're into the final lap of the race. He's going to be fighting side by side with Terra Racer, who's up into P2, and he's going to be putting the pressure on Kazizel for the race lead. Is Terra Racer. We said in qualifying he can give the front runners a run for his money. They're definitely going to be giving the front runners a run for their money, using all of his energy recovery system, having to defend from Ginger. More importantly, low to the outside goes Ginger for P2. Can he get it stuck around the outside on the mediums? Yes, they are. Still going to be side by side. It looks like the Ferrari and Red Bull Junior cars this time are going to be side by side through turn 3, but here is Terra Racer still in the DRS to the outside, and there's Ginger on the inside. Side by side they go. Can he get it stuck? Terra Racer going to set up a nice cutback again, still side by side on the exit. They're going to be side by side on the run into the infield sections. Who's going to take it? To the outside goes the AlphaTauri. Going to think better of it? No, he's going to put the power down around the outside. Can he get it? He's on the grass. Terra Racer's on the gravel. No, and it looks as though that's going to be a done deal for the race lead, but Kazizel run away with it on the final lap as Ginger and Terra Racer side by side for what was pretty much the entire first and second sector. But across the line, Kazizel through thick and thin, through pressure, through VSCs, across the line to win the final race of the season, and Terra Racer taking P2 on penalties with Ginger P3, and Sihilu finally getting in front of Khan Racer. We didn't quite catch that. He's going to come across in P4, and Chapelele giving us some lovely championship donuts before he crosses the line there, James.
Wow, what can I say? An amazing race. It looked like Jer, well, they overtook him on penalties, but on track, Jer and Brett caught up to him, but they didn't overtake him, so they beat him on penalties instead. But that was an amazing race. What can I say, really? Fantastic. We couldn't get any better than that. Especially the first 10 laps of this race was unbelievable. The stuff that was going on, the amount of battles that was going on. Imagine Quicksilver and Ratiko in that too. Unbelievable. And Vapor too.
Absolutely unbelievable. Of course, we had Calamity up and down. We had Vapor, who was almost on for a certain victory, crashing out and spinning after contact with Jer, who was fighting a race that he was not in. But nonetheless, he come home in P6. But just what a race that was. Up and down the field, we saw such good racing, and that is what FRL is all about. And it was a pleasure to commentate alongside you, because that was an incredible race, and one that I'm sure will be remembered for a long, long time. And what a way to round off what an exciting season of racing it's been, Jamie.
Yep, indeed. Missed a few races because of personal reasons, but the races I've been to, not been to, but the races I've commented, it's been absolutely amazing. Good action, good racing, good sportsmanship. So that was really a good season to commentate, and hopefully it'll be the same next week, or maybe next season. And Zach's been with me for a few races, and ever since he's been with me. It's been good commentating with you, mate.
Definitely has, mate, and it's been a pleasure to join you. And thank you to everyone involved who's put the show on week in, week out. Of course, thank you to the drivers for giving us what an incredible show that was on show for us today. Kasizzle taking the lead ahead of Terra Racer, Ginger, Sahilu, Bread, Jer, Khan, Patrick, Quicksilver and Rataka rounding off the top 10, Visser in P11, Carl P12, Geordie P13, Chapelele, your champion, down in P14. Great season of racing. I joined in Japan. I missed a couple due to some commitment reasons, but the ones I've commentated on, as you said, Jamie, have been absolutely incredible. So close up and down, and the races have never been short of action, especially here in Division 1. But it's been incredible. It's been a pleasure commentating.
Look at that, it's an Alpha podium. Alfa Romeo, Alpha Tauri, Alfa Romeo.
Yeah, incredibly so. And
Alpha.
yeah, but looks like the Alpha is sandwiched between the two Alphas.
Where's the other Alpha Tauri? Alpha Tauri, where's the other one? Who's the other
P8.
Alpha Tauri? P8,
Patrick
yeah, so
down
all
at
Alphas
P8.
scored. Right, that was the amazing season. We'll see you all next season, and take care. Have a good weekend, and see you all whenever.